Up, must down.
Turn your life around.
Hey guys, welcome to the Life Awakening podcast. My name is Esther.
My name is Evan, and today we are here with a special guest.
Hi guys, my name is Jesmond, and I'm youth leader from Calvary City Church Sutra. So thanks for having me here, guys.
Yes, no problem, guys. And today we're going to continue our series, the relationship series. And today we're going to focus on the family topic.
Nice.
Hey guys, how are you guys doing, by the way? How are you doing, Jesmond?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Evan. I'm doing great. It's been a while since we saw each other, right?
Yeah, it's been a while since we saw each other. I heard you guys are childhood friends.
Yeah, definitely.
Childhood friends, considered, right?
Yeah, we grew up in the same church. But I don't know whether it's the same
Really?
Sunday school, yeah.
Maybe you and my sister.
Yeah.
But our dads are like good friends, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So you guys grew up when you guys are young lah.
Yeah.
So you guys know each other lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much, guys. So like how you guys doing? Like how you doing? Like it's like been a while since we saw you, and like with this COVID situation, how's like as a youth leader, how is it going on, bro?
Honestly, I've been waiting for all this to end, like, because our life, I mean, the youth ministry has been dependent on online. I'm glad it's finishing. Finally we get to meet physically. And we are meeting finally next week physically.
Yay.
So online, first few months was okay, but it was, as the months goes by, right, you can really see the whole effect, like the relationship has been affected between the leaders and between the youths. So it's good that this is all ending and we can actually finally meet up physically and worship God together and stuff.
Yeah. Wow, that's great. I hope
so nice to
you
hear.
the best, and we have been praying. Guys, pray for Jesmond, guys. Yeah, but anyway, guys, we're gonna talk about family today. I think this is a very important topic. We always talk about relationship, and like we'll be talking about BGR soon, guys. We have a special guest who's going to talk about BGR, but that will be the last, right, guys? So we talked about friendship last few weeks, and today we're going to talk about family.
Yep.
And family is so important, guys, like maintaining the family relationship. And like family, there's this kind of family where they always like to fight with each other, yeah? And there's also family who like love each other so much. Like, guys, okay, I technically do not grow up with my sister or my brother because my parents are from Indonesia, and my sister are all there. And so I'm the only child here. So I do not really grow up in a family, but it's still, it's still the same because the family relationship with my parents, my mom, and my dad. So, yeah, guys, let's start with the basic question. What do you think about family? Describe your family in 3 words or just any word. Describe your family.
One word can.
Can.
Esther, you want to go first?
You go first.
Okay. I think my family I would describe it one word is humor and banter. Because that's how we show our affection towards each other. Like, we make fun of each other. We just, like, whatever we do, right, we'll make fun. But that's how we show our affection. And it kind of rubbed off to our my niece and my nephew. Not my niece, my nephew. So what happened recently, like talking about like humor and banter, right? Recently we were celebrating my nephew's 6th birthday. So then my brother asked me to pray. Okay, so let's welcome Pastor Jesmond to pray. So he was playing lah. And then my nephew, I was walking from there to him, right? And then he was looking at me, "You pastor ah?" Like that kind of thing, So so that kind of thing, runs in my family, like humor and banter. Like, that's how we show our affection. That's how I show affection towards people as well. Like, when I'm comfortable with them and I like them, right, I'll like banter them, but doesn't mean that I don't banter the people. I don't hate that person, but that's how I show my affection towards people as well. Yeah, my friends. Yeah.
So Chinese New Year, we're gonna come to your house, yeah?
Huh? I thought I was supposed to go to your house.
Yeah, you also come over to our house. That's more like it, right?
Alright, what about you, Esther?
I would say quality time to describe, because like in my family we're always all over, like we don't really like have like every day must sit down and eat dinner together, that kind. But we sometimes when we do have that time together as a family, like in my immediate family lah, then we will always like talk about certain stuff and catch up. So to me, that's the best word that describes my family.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I mean, I always do not want to go, like very good, I would say that my family will be, one word to describe would be imperfect. Yeah, guys, like, it's time to get deep here. Like, all the time, like, I see my family as imperfect because there's always space to grow.
Yeah.
And so, and I just talked to my mom a few days ago, like, hey, mom, I don't feel like our family is really good. Like, we do not open up with one another, or like, since like my families are in Indonesia and I'm here in Johor, it's like really messed up, in a way. So I would describe it imperfect, but I see it as a positive way. Like, there's a room to grow, to be better, to be a better son, and to put more initiative to get to know them.
Yeah.
I don't think there's like a perfect family.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah,
There is.
because as long as we're human, we're all imperfect. Because the only perfect one is God, right?
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think every family is imperfect. So
Well, yes, it goes to me. But anyway, guys, what's your family tradition? This is one thing that I really want to know, guys. Like, we talk about describing our family, but I mean, there is always a fun fact in your family, right? There's like something you always do together, right?
Yeah. You want to go first?
Hey, you guys are very awkward, guys.
you wanna go
play an
first?
ice break game, maybe?
no,
The
ma,
ice
because
really broken
you
with
never
the
you
intro.
never like you should have asked. Oh, maybe Ashley want to go first.
Yeah.
Like that lah.
Jesmond, do you want to go first?
Okay, sure.
Do I have to do this all the
I
time?
don't mean to sound spiritual in this lah, but every Monday, right?
Yeah.
Or every, not every Monday. Every Friday, my brother will come to visit with his family. So it's compulsory. My mom and dad will say that we have to do family devotion because my
Wow.
Very holy.
yeah, that's the thing. I didn't want to, but that's the only tradition I could think of. Because my brother is away, he's married with kids, so we can't do it every day. Last time we used to do it every day. So now it's like, okay, like every Friday you come with your family, then we do it together. So I think that's the only tradition I could think of lah.
Wow.
It's been happening, I don't know, since as long as I can remember. Yeah.
Very holy, leh.
Eh, sorry lah.
How lah? I don't want to share
Your
mine already
father's
lah.
a pastor, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Your father's also a pastor,
No,
right?
my father is not a pastor. He's a brother.
Already a pastor.
Oh, wow, okay.
We all don't call pastor. We call brother.
Okay. So
Uncle
pastor-
Sunny.
I call him Uncle Sunny.
Yeah,
Okay,
uncle.
alright.
My family same the
Devotion also.
no.
Every Monday.
Bro, come on,
You say
listen to
same
what
what?
I say first. I think I want to say it's the same thing that as what I described my family quality time. So like for my immediate family, my extended family, because we are actually very close to my dad's side of the family. So every Sunday, I think since when we were born or something, I can't remember. From when I had my memory, right, we are always gathering every single Sunday for like family dinner.
Oh.
So we are as a family, a big family, we're actually quite close knit, I would say, because due to all this kind of like every Sunday dinners, and then like Christmas must have gathering, Chinese New Year also must have gathering. Like we'll find any small event, right, to just have a gathering and makan lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my family tradition.
Got worship or not? No. Okay. I don't want to play with you already.
Worship, revival, prayer.
My family, maybe because I'm the unholy one.
Oh,
right? No lah.
Nobody's holy.
I think no, we used to have like I think my dad and my mom tried to implement this in my family, but I don't think it's worked quite well, because it's like either my brother has something, or like my sister has something, or I have something, or like my father sometimes he has meetings. So we don't have like a day that we commit to have like family devotion time lah. I think every family works differently.
Yeah.
It's okay. Not necessary to be holy, yeah.
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 No,
But you will
right
do a
or wrong.
devotion.
We are holy in our own ways.
Okay lah, but never. Yeah, but well, for me, right, I think like my family tradition is to have a meal every week. It's just I mean, when we talk about family, it's just me and my mom in Malaysia. Yeah, it's just me and my mom after service go have a meal, and then it's a compulsory to talk about each other.
Mm.
Like if you keep quiet, then there's something wrong. Yeah, family
Is it
tradition.
stressful? Like you have to find things to talk to
A
your
bit
mom
stressful
about.
lah, because I do not grow up in an open family, so it's very hard for me to open up, like towards my girlfriend or towards my friends. It's very hard to open up, but yeah, I'm slowly learning in this
I think
area.
it really depends on like family upbringing. Like for
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
even though like
Yeah.
like to my friends, they always think like, oh, you and your family very close. So sure you all talk about everything under the sun, but for me it's like we do talk about a lot of things under the sun.
Yeah.
But not every single thing, especially like because I'm a person that I value my privacy a lot. So it's not like everything I'll tell my
Yeah.
my family
Yeah.
that kind. Yeah.
It's true lah. I mean, like every family, the way we grow up, it also affects our life.
What about you? Do you
Yeah.
like share everything with your parents or your family or your brothers?
Depends on which area. I mean, which season of my life. Like when I'm a teenager, I had a lot of like, you call it beef, like a lot of strained relationship with
Rebellious
Yeah.
years.
with my family, and especially my early 20s. Yeah, but now I've grown older, right? I begin to understand. So now I'm very close to my mom. Like everything, I don't used to have that relationship with her. Even my father, like it's always you know that they are your parents, but you don't share everything in your heart, you know. But nowadays I'm very close to my mom. Like every day, I make it a point to sit with her. I have a tea and just talk about life and everything else, you know. Especially ministry, like because she will advise me and stuff. Because I'm a full-time worker, so they've been in ministry for quite some time. So yeah, I've been there. Like the relationship is there and now lah. I'm cherishing it because they are not getting any younger.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
and they're getting
Yeah.
older in terms of their behavior and their thinking. So sometimes it can annoy you, but you just have to just understand and go lah. Yeah. So it depends on different season how affectionate I was towards my parents lah. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Some days are just
Yeah.
really cold, like won't talk for 1-2 weeks like that.
I also like that.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I always lah, but okay.
I think we all have our ups and downs lah.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
sometimes I want to look for my mom every day. I want to talk to her. Then sometimes like, what you want? You know that kind.
Yeah, I know right. I know right.
But
Yeah.
I think my sister agrees with
Yeah,
me.
your sister's there, right?
Yeah.
But anyway.
She'll be like, yeah, definitely
Yeah.
Esther, temperamental.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, like guys, I mean, like in times, right? Like as you grow up, like do you ever compare with like your friend's family? Like, hey, why their family so good lah? They always have dinner like this lah. Then ampao always so much one lah. You know, like oh, they always open up with
Ampao.
each other lah. Like always go holiday lah. Do you guys
Yeah.
ever compare with your family with another family, or do you guys think your family is very good?
You wanna go first?
Can. If you ask me now, I cannot remember a time where I ever compared my family.
Oh.
Like in terms of like, oh, why that family is very like better than mine, like why they get to go like overseas trips and all that, because I feel like I'm very blessed to be in this family. Maybe just like share a very short one, because in my family, my eldest aunt, that is my father's eldest sister, their family are considered like elites, you know. They are like or lawyer lah or doctor lah. So the only thing I'll compare is like, oh, why we don't have that kind of brain to study and then, you know, be like, or have professional jobs like them lah. But other than that, I feel like I'm very blessed to be in this family, because my father is like the very easygoing, not the very strict father. He's like, in your studies, you just make sure you do your best and you know that you do your best. And it's like, because like some of my friends, right, their family, their fathers or their mothers, they'll be like, you have to study, or you don't study, you cannot go here, you cannot go there. Or like they will say like, oh, it's exam period, you cannot go to youth service or this kind of thing. So that it's like study is like their priority, and I felt like, wow, that's so stressful, you know, to be to have like parents that pressure you to study so much. I mean, it's for the good lah.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I wasn't under those kind of pressure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bless.
Amen. Yeah. I'm blessed.
What about you,
No
Mr.
complaints.
Jesmond?
For my part, I think I've done like my fair bit of like comparing my family to others, in terms of being affectionate towards each other. Like, you know, like how some parents will say to their kids, "Say, I believe in you," that kind of thing, you know. But I've learned for the past, I think, 6 or 7 years to be content with how my parents love me. because I think different family have their flaws and their strength. So I decide to focus on the strength that my family can offer me, like, which is advice. That's how they show their affection. Probably a little bit of like scolding also, you know. I mean, all parents do that lah, right? So, but yeah, so I think I learned how to be content. I've done my part where I've compared, like, hey, why is our family is not like that? But I've began to realize that we have to understand how they are showing their affections towards us, right? So yeah, that's my part lah.
I think it really boils down to each person's love language.
Yeah.
Because some people is like, they are very good with words of affirmation because it's like their love language.
Yeah,
But some people is like, I spend more time with you. That's my love language to you.
Yeah.
So it really depends on each person's love language that really makes up the entire family's tradition or the kind of affection that they show to their
Really
their family.
like God's plan, you know.
Yeah.
Like you are designed to be like this. It is what it is.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, but I mean, like, guys, like, talking about like all of this, like, you know, like comparing, right? But I think this is the least we should be worrying about, right? But the most important question here, right, guys, like, we should also ask ourselves, and maybe to those who are listening right now, like, the most important question is, how do we keep our family close? Like, guys, do you agree? Like, how do we keep our family, you know, that maintain that relationship? Like you say, some days they are cold, but how do you guys get back to it? Like, not cold forever also, right?
Yeah.
Like, not angry forever also, right? Like, how do you keep this healthy family relationship with one another?
You want to go first?
Question. But it's okay, I'll go.
Tough question, man. It's like I need to think.
Like, yeah. What I've learned, right? What was the question again? Like,
It's like,
how do you keep the family close,
close?
right?
Yeah.
It's understanding where your parents are coming from. Recently, in my Bible school, right, I took this counseling course, where you learn how to conduct a therapy with, like counsel people.
Okay.
Therapy, you know.
Wow.
So the lecturer was so good. So they do like hands-on therapy one. Like, okay, I teach you, then you do the therapy now. So a lot of therapy involves our own self. Like, what is our you know, like our flaws and all. Like how we react now. What was the cause, you know? So during that therapy session, I began to realize that our parents are not perfect, right? So we expect also sometimes from our parents so much. But for me, how do I keep my families close to me, right? Is to be content with who they are. Like, I love my parents, my parents love me, you know. And as growing up, right, as a teenager especially, I used to be a very defensive person. What changed my mindset, right, to be content with how they love me, right? Growing up, I used to be a very defensive teenager, even until up to the point of that therapy, right? I was used to be very defensive. Like, every time my mother or my father or my brother like correct me, right, I would be very defensive. And then one of the classes, I had to write a journal where which part of your area, right, you had a fallout with your family, because that sometimes can prolong the pain and shape who you are. So I had to like find which area and all. So in that journal, I wrote to this lecturer saying that I will be very defensive towards my family in terms of when they attack. I feel like attacked whenever they correct me. So what the lecturer said was very profound for me. What she said was, Jesmond, you don't need to defend yourself because you don't have any enemies.
Wow.
Because your family are not your enemies, you know?
Wow.
So sometimes we may feel that our parents are correcting us, then you feel like they're attacking us, but they actually, deep down, they love us. So we don't have any enemies except for the devil, basically, you know? So I don't need to defend myself right every time they attack me. So I need to understand that they're doing this out of love towards me. So I need to understand, like what you said, right? You understand their love language for us to love them and be close to them. So yeah, that's my point lah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about you, Esther? Like, I mean,
He's like the perfect answer, that kind of feeling. Oh shit. But for me, I think how to keep my family close, I think it's really taking the initiative to spend time back to this for me, because previous episode I did share that it's very hard for me to take the initiative to like even start a conversation, like because like sometimes I value my privacy so much, right, that I'm fine with doing anything alone, spending my time alone, don't want to talk to anybody, because in work I have to already keep talking. Yeah. So it's like, so for me, I think this is the part where if I take initiative, right, probably I'll have a closer relationship with my family, maintaining that that relationship with
if
them.
you talk about like maintaining that maintaining that thing, like what like are those core values that you have kept with yourself, like in your family, like the core values of like being open, like a rule to yourself on maintaining that relationship with your family. Like if for me, I'll put like a values of transparency. Like we talk about it, friendship. The same goes to the family, and I think we'll add more to it, like having the courage. One of the values of keeping that, maintaining that relationship. Having courage is very important to me, because like I know it's like we grew up together with our parents, with our siblings, right? And there's always a point where like your friends are even closer to you than your family. You guys agree?
I get
Yeah,
you.
and so and when we want to talk about relationship or want to talk about some certain stuff with your parents or your siblings, you'll be like, no way. Like I think courage is very important for me. Like take a stand and say, Mom, I'm sorry. Mom, I think I do wrong. Dad, I think you should change this. Brother and sister, I think you guys are annoying. like take a stand to do like something, like that. Yeah. Other than that, it's being selfless as well. Like in a family, I know we live in like the same tradition, same culture, but there's always a point of time where like sometimes your brother do not want to brush teeth, or sometimes use your stuff without asking, wear your shirt, right? Don't experience this before? No, wow.
Yeah. Different sizes, bro. How do you?
I experience this all the time. My sister wears my clothes every single time.
Wow, okay.
Because last time I used to wear her clothes as well lah. So I think maybe it's like revenge.
Yeah, see, like all this culture, right? Like if you do not have selfless, like you'll be like, oh, we argue already, confirm argue one. Yeah, like but as we grow up, like when I grow up, I think that selfless is very important. Just deny myself and say, Mom, I think you're right.
I think sometimes like I don't know about you all, but like arguing sometimes kind of like not improve like somehow it opens your eyes to know about the other person better. I don't know, because like sometimes you argue based on your so-called like understanding or misunderstanding of each other. Yeah. So like when you argue already, then actually you think like that. So it kind of like opens up.
Do you think, right, that arguing can be avoided? If there's a like, is it like the best way argue lor?
No lah, not like every single time lah. It really depends mah.
Yeah. I think it depends. If let's say you don't want to argue, then the person want to argue, you cannot do anything also, right?
Yeah.
Try to talk nice lor. Hey, don't angry lah.
Hey, very hard one, very hard.
That's what my father do to my mom actually. Yeah.
I think I should learn from your father. Right. My girlfriend has been pissing me off all the time. I think I should be like, hey, don't be angry. I think I should learn from my father. Not bad.
So
what about you guys? Like, what are those core values you keep within yourself? Like, promise yourself, like, guys, I have to be selfless. I have to love my family more, like like this kind of quotation, or like not quotation, like quotes that you keep within your heart when it comes to maintaining your relationship with your family.
For me, right, to maintain it, because I told you guys earlier that I always been like a defensive person, and very close. Like if I'm defensive, then you don't need to know my weakness, that kind of thing, but I've learned that to do this, right, I have to be vulnerable to them. Like I have my weaknesses, and I'm not always this person who is like always wanna defend when you actually correct me, So that's how I show my even to my brothers, even to especially my elder brother, because growing up we had a lot of our close relationship apart, and we also had our really a lot of fights thingy. So for me to be vulnerable to him, it actually took a huge step. It's a huge step for me. but that's because he chose to change the way he communicates to me and all. And for me, after learning that, I've decided like, okay, maybe how you show your core values, how you show your affection, right, is to show your vulnerability. Like, you're not always this guy who is got all everything under control, you know. So yeah, that's my part lah.
Yeah. Like, okay, guys, let's bring in deeper in this topic, right, guys? I think there's a really big difference between parents and siblings.
Yeah.
So let's focus on the parent side first. Yeah,
Okay,
guys.
okay.
All right,
Sorry, bro.
Guys,
Here we go.
both grew up from a church. You know, your father is working in the
we're
church, one,
second
right?
gen Christians.
Yeah, second gen.
Yeah, second
you
gen
guys-
Christians.
Well, okay, so like there's this very important thing, right? It's like if you can change one thing of your parents.
Oh no.
I know, like, I mean,
I
this
hope my
is-
parents don't listen
Yeah,
to
that's
this.
the thing.
I
You're
mean,
gonna cry after this.
They'll be like, oh, why did I raise my daughter to be like this?
okay lah.
No, no, no,
Where did we go wrong?
Never mind. We're open with
Okay
our
lah, let's
family.
start
It's
something
okay.
easy first lah, okay? Like, what is one thing you learn from your parents, okay? This one your parents can hear, right?
Oh,
Right. What is the one
can.
thing we learn from our parents growing up, you know?
I think my parents, they've always been really giving, in not just like monetary wise, but also taking care of people. I think the main person will be my mum. Oh my god, why do I want to cry suddenly? I feel that. Oh my god, got tissue.
Hey, got tissue or not, guys?
You want to share first? Or you share
Yeah,
first?
sure.
Just
Go
we need
ahead.
to make her laugh now, right, Jesmond? Wow, okay.
Wow, the tissue just like flew down, eh? Never mind. You come, Jesmond, you share
Okay,
first.
I go first. Take your time. So, for me, right, like, what was the question again? The
After what?
so
Distracted by
trying
her,
to-
is it, right now? Alright, it's like, what is one thing that you learn from your parents?
One thing, I think two things lah. Two things I give lah. That's what I've seen in my parents' life is content lah. Content in terms of finance, you know. Like what you have right now, it's enough, you know. Like you don't need to earn so much. I mean, if God blesses you, then that's another thing, you know.
Yeah.
Just be content and be faithful to what God has for you, you know. Like in terms of finance, and then contentment in the things that you have in life, you know. Don't worry about what people have, what bigger cars people have, bigger house people have.
Yeah.
Just be content because God is with you, because God never fails us. Another thing is the same as Esther's parents' generosity of their time in terms of loving people.
Yeah.
So I remember clearly when I was a kid, three of us, my brother, I think I was 4 or 5 years old. My brother, I don't know, 5 years older than me, so I think it's about 9. Then my younger brother is about 2 or 3 years old. Every Saturday we'll go to like the rural area of Pontian, right, Pekananas, to do ministry and to just do life with people and just loving them, because these people that although they are from the rural area, right, but their life is really broken. Like marriage is broken and like it's morally out, you know, morally memang it's not good because they are uneducated. So I've seen my parents really, especially my dad, juggle between his work. He was a lay pastor, juggling between his work and also ministry, and really investing time, being generous with their time in terms of loving people. So that's what I would catch from my parents. Like I want to love people more. I want to like give, invest time with my youths and whoever that I'm having like a connection or relationship with. Like invest their time and also be content. I'm still learning. Like to be content in what God has given me, and
come on, bro.
So
Future
so
pastor coming, right?
Yeah.
Okay, don't
Pressure.
stress you out.
I really stressed. Really.
Alright, here's a tissue, Esther.
Hey,
It's your
keep
turn to
us-
share.
Okay, so so my mom especially, she's a very she's a caregiver, I guess.
Yeah.
Because to me, I feel like as a person, maybe I'm very selfish lah.
Yeah.
Okay, no, not maybe, I am very selfish. So I always because she has to take care of my uncle right now. because my aunt just passed away not long, his wife, and then he's suffering some mental distress, and also he's alone lah, staying right now. So my mom has to like go and take care of him, you know, like sometimes even stay with him, and then I felt like it's not like he doesn't have children.
Yeah.
Why can't to me lah? Every time when I talk about this topic to her, it's like, why can't just ask the children to come back?
Yeah. Yeah.
So one thing that struck me was she said that family even though like they are not like very close, like last time lah, like all this while, but then she's like, no, even though we're not close, but it's my duty.
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
to
Wow.
be there
Wow.
for my brother.
Come
And
on.
wow, when I heard that, I was like, oh, I don't know how to feel, because I tell you, if put me in my mom's position, right, I would, sorry to say, it sounds very selfish, but I would not care
Yeah.
about my, let's say, my brother lah. Yeah, so I felt like, wow, that was a very big step, because she can choose not to,
Yeah.
but which I really thank God for lah, my mom. She really takes the extra step to go and care for people, not just her brother. Even when my aunt that passed away, she also took care, go with her to the hospital and all these things, which I feel like it's not in every family that siblings will do that
Yeah,
for
true.
their in-laws or
Yeah,
for like
yeah.
their own brother and sister. And when I see like my father and mother, they take care of their cell group members as well. Who I think one of them, one family is, I think the mom is quite old in age, and then the two children, one son and one daughter, they are also, I think there are some disabilities that they are facing. But the way I see that how they care for them, how they offer to bring them to places that they need to go to, or even to just church, I feel like that's like, wow, not whether I should learn from them and
Yeah.
take that extra step to give care, to care about other people lah. Yeah, that's one of the major things that I learned from them.
Can I have the tissue now? Amazing. Wow, okay. Wow, thanks
Nice
for
one.
sharing, Esther.
Yeah,
Well,
thanks for
for me,
sharing.
right, my mom and my dad is a business director, and I think I kind of grew up as a leader. You know, kind of a straightforward leader, because I really think, because I always hear my mom and dad fighting, you know, like calling about business. And then right now, right, like, you know, when I go anywhere, talk to my friend, I have this tone. And my heart says, I actually love them, but what they think is like, hey, why you scolding me? Right, you know, there's those leadership voice. And so, yeah, I learned this thing from them. And without them, right, I would think that I'm just like, you know, not able to take initiative or even to guide people. You know, like, right now I'm doing pastoral work, you know, like taking care of people. You know, it's very important as a leader, you know, to take initiative.
Yeah.
So I'm really thankful for my mom and dad, and also they also taught me that, you know, having money and don't have money, you know, as long as family sticks together, that's very important.
Of
Yeah.
course.
So, I mean, guys, to you guys watching this, there's like something in my heart, right? Like, guys, we do not grow up in a perfect family.
Yeah.
All of us grew up in a different culture and also different lessons that we learn from our parents. But I think most importantly, right, guys, I think the values that we should always keep with us is forgiveness.
Yeah.
Like, guys, I guarantee that all of us here, we will always keep grudges in our heart. Like, you know, like, why I grew up like this? Why my parents taught me this, scold me this when I was younger? But guys, if you think that something is wrong, right, guys, maybe sometimes it's not our family to blame, but sometimes it's us that we need to reflect.
Yeah.
You know, like,
True.
like, you know, a few days ago, I told my mom, hey, mom, I'm really sorry. You know, like, I grew up not being able to open up to you, and like, I always keep things away from you. And I just want to let it go, you know, like sometimes just talk and let it go, mom, I'm sorry. And you guys really feel so good, because after that, right, the relationship will restore.
Yeah.
You know, guys, like, forgiveness is very important, guys. If you are able to forgive your parents, I think, and your siblings, I think that there will always be a new start.
Yeah.
Of course.
So
True.
don't keep it like, I do not know when your parents will survive or, you
Yeah.
know, be alive. You know, they can just die tomorrow or maybe a few seconds later. So just like take this time to spend with your parents, and, you know, like, just don't take things for granted.
Yeah,
lah.
I think like cherish each
Cherish
moment.
it, lah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have any grudges, just keep happy family means don't keep any grudges, just forgive and forget. And move on. Yeah, guys, just do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the worst argument that you have with your siblings? I just suddenly have this question.
Siblings.
By the way, how many siblings do you have, Jesmond?
I have one elder brother and one younger brother.
Oh, middle child syndrome.
Yeah. What's the biggest conflict you ever
Yeah.
With my siblings, I always argue with my elder brother lah. So I've never seen him like got angry to that level before. So I also was like super angry. I don't know what exactly we were arguing about. I think something like my mom had to. I was at home after work. I think this was about 8 years ago. 8 years ago. He wasn't married at that time, and then I was at home. I just came back from work, and then my mom asked me to buy groceries for her lah.
Yeah.
But I turned a blind eye to it. Like I don't want lah, that kind of thing. I'm tired. I just came back from work, and then somehow when my mom drove the car, and then probably she got into an accident, or she got into like probably the gas, the petrol finished and all. So my brother was super angry, like coming shouting at me. Like I've never seen him shout at me like that. And then I was also like shouting at him again, like why suddenly you are like that? Like why I'm tired. I came back from work. And then we didn't spoke for quite a few days. Few days because of this. So I think that's the most intense one lah for me. Like my younger brother, rarely lah. He does his own thing. So I don't have any arguments with my younger brother. What about you, Esther?
Your
back the question.
I can't really like remember
Your sister's here, by the way.
the worst argument, but what I remember, I think she remembers also, that I can't remember what my brother and my sister provoked me about last time when I was very young. But I knew I was so furious, right? I was fuming with anger, right? I went to the kitchen and got like a knife.
Okay.
And then I chased after that. I was like, you want to die, is it, or something?
you were like sentimental just now, want to cry. Now suddenly you show you want to kill people.
No, with parents it's very different when it's with the siblings, you know. So yeah, that was like the memory that I have in my mind. Then my last time when it happened, right? Then after that, my brother or my sister, they always used to say, she always like to take the knife and then come and chase after us one. Yeah, you can check the facts with my sister later. But yeah, like I won't say it's the worst argument, but it's the most memorable thing that happened after an argument. Yeah. What about you?
Well, a complicated story. I don't have siblings, but I have a half siblings. So my sister is like half sister. Yeah. So technically, I never fight with my sister before because I hardly see her. and yeah, like my memory with my sister is just like come and go. Yeah. Then like a few years later, she got married and stuff like that. So
older.
yeah, she's like 8 years older than me.
Wow.
Yeah, I have an older brother that I never seen before since birth lah. So
Okay.
They're in Indonesia.
Yeah. So siblings wise, I have no issue. That means I'm clean. Never fight my siblings before.
Clean.
Okay, maybe I fight my sister when I was younger, but I just do not realize.
Can't remember.
Yeah. Well, yeah, come and talk about siblings, right, guys?
Why? What's that laughter, man?
Because I don't have siblings, right? So I can okay, guys. What is one thing that you are jealous that your siblings have that you don't have?
That my siblings have that I don't have. Is there an answer that you're expecting me to answer?
Yeah. No, I just want to play. I want to know
now.
I don't have a siblings, so I just want to like figure out some of your experience with siblings.
Jealous,
Like, have your sister jealous about your Apple Watch? Sometimes I have, you don't have. Or
she's not that kind of person. That she's not as materialistic as me, I guess. Yeah, but jealous.
Are you jealous about your sister? Like, hey guys, you can go deeper. Like why my mom show favoritism and stuff like that. Hey, don't look at your sister, please. Focus. We are talking.
No, I don't know. I don't know whether I can say this on podcast.
No problem. Yeah, like what are some stuff like something you want from your siblings that you do?
You want shallow answers or deep answers?
Bro, it's up to you.
Up to you, man. But for me, I'm gonna give a very shallow answer.
Yes, no problem.
I'm very jealous that I'm not so abundant as her. Yeah, whoever like gets it. Whoever that doesn't, that's too bad. Okay, moving on.
Abundant. What does that even mean?
Never mind.
Jesmond, what about you?
I go shallow also lah.
Okay lah, I go shallow
Wow,
also
we
lah,
gonna sing
guys.
shallow later.
Yeah. You guys shallow now. I'm gonna go deep after this.
Can.
For me, I'll start with my elder brother. My elder brother. Wait I'm thinking now. Probably I go with my younger brother first. I think he's good looks lah.
Bro, I
Yeah.
think you are good looking, bro.
Beauty is
You
in the
haven't
eye
seen
of
my
the
younger brother
beholder.
yet, so
Bro, God created you.
that's what everybody say lah.
That's always the standard answer. God
Yeah,
created you,
that's how you cover up
So you
your-
cannot be not satisfied with your looks. Wow,
Yeah.
always like that one. Yeah. But what about like your
Elder brother. The one thing I like about my elder brother, like jealous about, right? He can easily make friends and very extrovert person. Like if you go and talk to him, he straight away like make friends with you, and he'll talk to you. For me, I'll take okay. If I'm meeting you for first time, probably the second time only I can be very comfortable with you. If the first time means like really, you know.
So we should invite you to another podcast session.
Ah.
Does that mean you'll be
Sure.
more open up? No,
You
what
see how I pray about it.
Whoa! Gotta pray about it now.
Bro, I just want to ask, just out of curiosity, right?
Yeah.
Are you jealous that your older brother got married and then you're like still single? Are you single right now?
Yeah, I'm single.
Are you jealous about it? Like, I mean, like, I just want to know, like when your siblings got into a relationship and you're like, why am I single?
No, I don't feel that way.
You don't feel that way?
Yeah,
Wow.
I was probably 2 or 3 years ago,
Yeah.
but now I'm not lah.
Over it
I'm,
already.
Yeah, I'm over it really. So
Wow.
I'm happy. I'm not saying that I'm happy being single until I'm gonna be celibate myself lah.
Yeah.
But happy to be single and happy to be in relationship as well. Yeah, if it comes, yeah.
Yeah. Wow, I truly learned a lot from this family thing about siblings thing. But I wish I have a sibling, but I also, at the meantime, I think that being an only child is a good thing.
Yeah. Why not you just like share briefly?
Yeah,
You
wow,
know,
how
it's-
does it
oh,
feel, you know?
Yeah, like
Being
I
a-
wish I was an only
Guys,
child,
being
man.
an only child, right, there's a lot of benefit, guys. The first benefit is that whatever you want from your parents, you have it.
Tell me about
Ah.
it.
Is
Right.
that the same as the last child?
No. Not as much as the only child.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's also cons lah. Like you just have to survive on your own. Like there's no one to find to.
Okay.
Yeah, like.
And do you find it like extremely lonely sometimes? Like when like maybe your mom is not available for you, then it's like, oh, I feel like I wish I had a sibling that I can talk to.
Well, I
kind.
grew up playing games, so my
So
online-
your game is your sibling,
Like my games friends are like my siblings. but in another way, right, is that like there's still sometimes where I feel regret. Like, hey, why am I not born in Indonesia where I can be with my families and see why am I here? But after a while I grew up and I was like, if God have not put me in Malaysia, there's a lot of stuff I wouldn't have done.
That's true.
Yeah, true.
And there's also like the point where like I feel like if I have a siblings to rely on, I wouldn't be independent today. Yeah, I mean it comes hand to hand lah.
Yeah,
like, guys,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like if I look at myself with siblings now, right, I will always be like depending on my siblings, go where my siblings want, like looking up to my siblings where God wants me to look up to Him instead of looking up at the siblings. So there's like this kind of theories that I thought of myself lah after reflecting. But I'm not saying that having siblings is bad lah, right? It's just we grew up differently. Like
Yeah.
we talked about it earlier that this is who we are, this is God's plan, and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But come to a closure of this podcast, right, guys? What does God wants you to improve in, like, your current state right now? Like, what is one thing that God wants you to learn and to really change? Like, one thing that can improve in your family, right? I mean, like, imperfectness, correct? Like, we always think that it's better. There's always room for improvement. But what are like those lessons that God has been teaching you all, right, in this period of time?
For me, I think for this year, right, I always have been, I would like to think forward, like what's in my next phase of life, in terms of ministry and life and everything, But this year, I feel like God is leading me. God is saying like to be present with whoever you are, lah. Like especially with your family. Be present with them and be with them, Because I have developed like a bad habit, lah, to say, like I only, like let's say we're having tea, right? I only speak to my family I'll only open up to my family when they are talking about ministry. Other than that, it's like I'll keep quiet and just listen to what they are talking. I won't ask any questions. But now, like, what God has been teaching me is like, you know, if you want to be present, you have to be there for them also.
Yeah, wow.
What they're going
Yeah,
through,
wow, yeah.
you know, what they are going through. So ask questions, how they are doing, because all three of us, especially in siblings, right? We attend 3 different churches. Yeah, so that's the common ground we find now. Like, how's the church doing? How's the your cell group and everything else? So I made myself to be intentional in being present, because you cannot say being present and just not do. Sometimes you have to force yourself, be intentional, and then it becomes your behavior. So yeah, that's my part for this year, to be present in my family, my father and my mother and my siblings, and just be there for them lah, like whenever they need me. Yeah.
I think I have a similar one with you as well, because I'm going to Australia soon. Yeah, I'm going to study in Australia. So
Aussie, mate.
Sorry?
No.
Good day, mate.
Okay,
Good
guys,
day,
enough,
mate.
ah.
Good
Enough,
day,
guys.
mate.
Alright. Anyway, yeah, to be present for my family and to be open lah. Because like I think that if I couldn't open up with my parents in this situation, right, when I'm still around, if I go to Australia, like it's
gonna
even
be
worse.
harder, yeah.
It's gonna be worse, guys. Like call my mom, hey, how are you? Oh, bye. Like, you know. So yeah, I think that's a very important lesson for me lah. From God's going to teach me. What about you, Esther?
I think my bad temper.
Can
No,
you-
hot
can you-
and
can you
hot
s-
and cold
Yeah,
temper.
speak that louder.
Yeah, my hot and cold
So badly.
temper.
Temper.
Yeah, towards my family.
Mhm.
Because like when you're with your family, it's like you can be your truest
Yeah.
self. So it's like you can anyhow you want to show yourself to them also can. But
Yeah.
I feel like I have to. It's a constant process that I've been trying, but not very successfully lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so I feel that my temper towards my family is something that needs to change lah.
Yeah. Wow. So guys, as we're gonna end, what are some encouragement do you guys want to say to some of our listener and viewers?
Man, I'm not good with words. You want to go with it?
Pastor, please.
Encouragement.
Pastor
What sort of
Jesmond.
encouragement they need?
Oh, what kind of encouragement they need? Like for me, I will give you guys encouragement is to forgive.
Yeah.
Guys, it is time that we learn to grow up and not just be a childish person to, you know, like just take things for granted, being so stubborn. Just think about
Yeah.
your parent, guys. Like think about what it's like where everything seems to be normal. There's no arguments. There's no anything, guys. Just forgive and apologize and move on. You know?
Yeah.
And if you feel like if you do not have the strength to do it, just pray to God. Just pray, say,
Yeah.
God, guide me, give me the strength to say sorry to my mom. Like even though, like guys, like sometimes there's time where we feel like I feel like I'm right, my parents are wrong. But what if you are wrong and your parents are right? So you know, this kind of stuff requires being selfless. Just say I'm sorry, move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for my part, it's like what I shared earlier. Unless your parents like abusing you physically and verbally abusing you to cause you real pain, I feel you should not defend yourself, not take it everything. Unless they are physically abusing you and verbally abusing you, you should not take every form of correction or every form of thing as an attack. Because your families are not your enemies. Like I told you earlier, like the families are not your enemies.
Wow.
So that's how you forgive, you know, like
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
see them as not enemies, right? You begin to accept them. You begin to be more, on a what do you say? Like a more relaxed, more
Yeah,
relaxed
yeah.
when you're accepting their.
Yeah.
They're accepting the correction and all. So I would say, do not be defensive towards your family, because they are not your enemies.
Yeah.
Because they love you and your parents love you, your siblings love you. Probably some things they say could be for your own good. Only we fail to realize, sometimes. So yeah, that's my last encouragement.
Yeah.
Like, don't take the correction as an attack, but as a love.
Love language.
Yes, it's a love language. Yeah.
Man, Pastor Jesmond.
Oh, bro, we see your
Stress
training. What about you, Esther? Really? Okay, guys. Yeah. So, guys, I mean, like, it's very important that sometimes when we have family issues, sometimes ourselves we do not have the courage to do it. I encourage you all to find someone. Find your leaders, or you can even find us and we will hook you up with a leader, maybe in those around your areas. We will just give you advice and just help you guys, and most likely we will just pass you on to your leaders. Like, we encourage you guys to talk to your leaders about it. Let them be the middle person so that they can see both situations, guys, if you think that you can't do it. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. It's been great, Jesmond, to see you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Evan and Esther, for
More
having me.
episodes to come.
Yes, more episodes to come.
Really? I thought one only.
You have to pray first. What if God really wants you to come? Yeah, guys, we're gonna talk about relationship in our next episode, guys.
Yeah.
Nice.
DGR relationship, guys. Right? Esther has a lot of experience to share
Oh
about
my
this.
gosh.
Yeah.
I'll be absent in the next episode.
No, what do you mean? Yeah, guys, stay tuned and yeah, guys, see you soon. Let's have dinner, guys.
Yeah.
Alright, guys, see
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Where should I be?
There.
Everywhere. Okay, bye.